What up, tribe? It's your girl Raji, and I would like to welcome you to my podcast, The House of Cush, where the evolved hustlers come to learn more about root work, conjure, tarot, culture, astrology, and a little bit of everything in between. I hope you guys are having a great Saturday. We have entered another full 7 days of this cycle that we call life. And when we think of Saturn's Saturday energy, we told that. When we think of Saturday's energy, we are tapping into Saturn. And Saturn comes through to have us focusing in on endings and healing from grief, overcoming addictions, patience, as well as wisdom. Now, the woo, the root work, the conjure, the witchcraft, the voodoo, the hoodoo, whatever you're into, is tapping into casting protective wards, cord cuttings, banishing work, bindings, speaking with your elevated ancestors and spirits, and also uncrossing and removal work. So today is a good day to tap into that. Now, almanac wise, today we still got that full moon energy waning in Gemini, and the sun in Scorpio is it's challenging us to accept some necessary truths that have been kind of lingering in the air for quite some time. It is definitely a space and a place for you to understand that how you speak, listen, and learn from each other, from communities, what information you take in is very important. You are being called to take a look-see, figure that shit out. Because mental alchemy gives you the opportunity, confirmation, to transmute instead of sitting in that darkness. Now, gossip turns into guidance, and restlessness turns into revelation, right? Now, with the Mercury moon now moving through Sagittarius, words carry a wild wisdom, but also a little bit of exaggeration. So slow down before you cast your spells with your tongue, because they're going to go far and wide. Now, what's said in haste, it could shift your entire energetic vibration. And the Scorpio sun is still sitting in power, and it's asking you, what truths are you running from at the end of the day, right? This is a great day for communication cleansings, again, cord cuttings through conversation, and clarifying your boundaries. Now, the theme of today is going to be mind magic, spiritual clarity, and intentional speech. With the elements of air and water, we need to make sure we're cleansing and speaking life into our reality. If you guys want to check out the almanac for today, you can sign up for my Patreon by clicking the link in my bio, and we have a ritual there for you under the free tier that you can use today as a little exercise. And the daily horoscopes are up too, which I'll be reading in just a second. Now, in terms of the horoscopes for today, like I said, we are moving heavily in terms of, truth, traveling quickly, clarity, as well as any sort of deep issues resurfacing for people that we're trying to hide. You just can't hide right now. It's damn near impossible. And like, when I got into this, as most of us are, I am born into this. Like, this is just something that's in me. Like, not necessarily something that, you learn and you refine your craft, but a lot of us are born into it. And I never really light that gift and ability that I have to see past the veil when it comes to, people that I interact with. And like that's a gift, a talent. That's not something that I enjoy all the time, if ever, because no matter what a person tries to portray, I see beyond what they're doing, what they're saying, what they're presenting. And sometimes I choose to just act like I don't see it, just to keep like normalcy, if you will. But that's one of those gifts, and I'm speaking about it because of the astrological energy we're in right now. Like, I cannot stand that gift. And I remember speaking with my parental figure, and there's a gift that she has, an innate ability to know when someone is going to pass away. For the lore, I come from a long line of deep South Alabama women who were born with certain gifts and abilities. And a lot of times it can be stressful, it can be heavy, and always knowing when a person is about to pass, like some like crazy shit's about to happen, if that's not a talent that you're grounded in, it can get really muddy. And I would always say, like, that's when, as I develop more, that's not a gift I want. And I remember her saying to me, like, that you don't get to choose. Like, you think you get to choose, you don't get to choose. And as I've gotten older, that is also something that has been peeking its way in, over time. But yeah, knowing that thing that I have, I hate it. And it got me into some situations because, sometimes, and I'll go ahead and say off my spirit, like, you think out of like ego, like, I could see a situation, I could change the situation, I could revamp it, I see what's gonna happen, so I can. And you being taught not to interfere, and a lot of times it's dangerous. Like when a spirit is sitting on a person, a being, a vessel, and you call that spirit out, it could try to take you on up out of here. And I have personal experience and lore with that. But that, the moon being in Gemini and the sun being in Scorpio, like, it's a general community thing, you know what I'm saying? So times that 1,000 and living through that like every fucking day. Every fucking day, bro. And I will say that there are other placements that I have will also enhance, like, that Gemini energy enhances that speech, that, so I can say from a singular experience, like a personal experience, let me say that, like, watch what you say, watch what you expose. There's a way to do everything, and sometimes you just got to sit back and observe for the next steps, but don't let your arrogance have you in a fucked up situation. That's life lessons. Now, to the transits. Today, OBS, we're still in these retrograde phases. We are still learning and reviewing and being told to slow down because there is quite a bit that we are learning. Now, Uranus has shifted into Taurus at this particular point, and we have that Mercury energy that shifted not too long ago into Sagittarius. So it's a lot things shaking up what you believe, your foundation, things that you may have been quite stubborn about. It's just simply time for you to reassess the value of things and the work that you're putting in. What does it really mean? What does it really matter? Like I say, what means the world to you? That's actually a song. It made me want to look it up, or somebody need to look it up. I had the weirdest dream last night, y'all. Random. I'll get into that in a minute. And if I forget, I'm not meant to talk about it. Okay, anyway. But yeah, so we still in the full moon phase, even though the moon has shifted into Gemini. And we have a few potent transits, not as many as usual. The moon in Gemini is squaring Neptune in Pisces at 0 degrees 0. So we've got some retrogrades going on. So there is going to be a correlation between what's real and what's not in the tribe, like ignoring the illusions and delusions that people or places are trying to put us in. You know what I'm saying? A lot of lies coming to the surface. Like I said, people trying to skew reality. There's a hostility there. It's like, you know what you feel with the moon in Gemini, you know, but you're trying to decide, like, do I just let this shit go, or do I say it, you know? And that's, oh my God, when I tell y'all, with my Aries Mercury, I struggle so hard with that shit. When I was coming into my own with my spiritual gifts, ooh, because you do have a certain arrogance to feeling like, okay, if I could see the future, if I could map out what you're gonna do, and also heavy pattern recognition, maybe I can shift it. And a lot of stuff we ain't supposed to interfere in. I don't know if y'all watch Charmed, but or any sort of like witchy show growing up or whatever, but you can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. Not fuck some shit up and cause a lot of like energetic manipulation that's not supposed to happen. Now, Venus is squaring Pluto, and Venus at 0 degrees, and Venus being in Scorpio, and Pluto shifting into Aquarius. A lot of changes surrounding relationships and desires, and a lot of secrets that people thought they had around romantic relationships and friendships. Feelings, like true feelings, are coming out. You're able to see it, right? Honey, and you're shifting. We talked about it yesterday, like the change in the community, the change in what you find unique about yourself, you know, things you're no longer willing to hide just to remain close to certain groups and communities. You really don't care about, you know, stepping into your individuality right now, or you shouldn't. But yeah, it's a little hostility there, right? Now, we've got Jupiter trining Saturn at 0 degrees. Jupiter is in Cancer, and Saturn is retrograding in Pisces. Shifting the thoughts and processes around the home, care for the mother, care for family, a lot of family issues. Different seeds are being planted here. There's a lot of endings and beginnings, and maybe you have shifted the way you are dealing with spirituality, dealing with your path, and what type of work you're willing to put in emotionally to, like I said, have the life that you desire, outside of what you're comfortable with, or what your immediate family is comfortable with. I don't think it's very much about, it's never been about that, but now a lot is shifting where it's like, we don't care anymore what the status quo was. We respect it, but at the same time, that's not going to be a barometer of how things continue. Like, no. Uranus in Taurus is sextile Neptune in Pisces, retrograding at 0 degrees. So again, there's going to be some radical changes here, but this is going to be a blessing to us, is a culture. A lot of people are just being faced with the fact that nothing changes and nothing changes, honey. A lot of lies. Ooh. Baby, when I tell you a liar, what they say, scratch a lie, find a thief. Because, baby, that's what's going on. Lilith is in Scorpio, if I'm not mistaken. And it is trining Jupiter in Cancer and Saturn in Pisces, both at 0 degrees. Like I said, shadow work, secrets coming up. And it's for the good of the gang. It has to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might feel that pinch. You might feel that, like, ugh. But it has to happen in order for you to actually find comfort, for you to actually find peace in your life. And, woo, baby. The secrets. The secrets, baby. Ooh. I I already have a very like strong sense of like what's going on around me energetically, but like lately it has been heavier. It's been so much heavier, and it's taking everything in me to not like say it. But I've learned, baby. I've learned. So horoscopes now. Aries, the waning Gemini moon is activating your third house of thought and dialogue. You're called to slow down before speaking, as Mercury's influence may cause misunderstandings. Think before you speak. Taurus, the focus shifts to your second house of values and self-worth. You may be assessing your emotional investments and letting go of outdated attachments. Gemini, the moon in your sign highlights self-reflection and personal evolution. Your words carry extra weight. You need to make sure you're using them wisely. Cancer, you're in your 12th house of endings, cleansings, and divine messages. The veil is thin for you today, so pay attention to what you see. And here is what I just heard. Leo, your 11th house of community and vision is illuminated. Let this Gemini moon help you reconnect with like-minded spirits. Virgo, the moon activates your 10th house of career and visibility. Communicate clearly in professional matters and stay grounded. Libra, the waning Gemini moon energizes your 9th house of learning and spiritual expansion. It's time to purge any limiting beliefs that you have. Scorpio, the moon moves through your 8th house of transformation, intimacy, and rebirth. Emotional shedding is necessary before your personal renewal. Sagittarius, your 7th house of relationships is highlighted. Clarity comes through direct communication, not assumption. What the old folks say, assume and make an ass out of you, not me. Capricorn, the moon activates your 6th house of routine and health. Mind your nervous system today. Rest is true productivity. It's okay to take a break. Aquarius, the Gemini moon moves through your 5th house of creativity and pleasure. Use it to channel ideas into art or spell work. And finally, Pisces, the focus falls on The focus falls on your 4th house of home, ancestry, and protection. You may feel emotionally sensitive under this lunar influence. Okay, so if you guys want the further guidance and root work tips, make sure you sign up for my Tribe Talk tier. I do put up daily horoscopes, to keep it cute. And also, there are a lot of other things that are placed. Like, it's my Patreon lead. I built this shit brick by brick in my Franklin Snow voice. Andy. And the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because, like, okay. Let me say, how shall I say? I was inspired to do like the Cush Almanac and like giving out information and resources and like, literature, spell work, stuff like that, history even, because I saw where there just was no representation within our community in a way that, because a lot of times we be like gatekeep, which you should definitely gatekeep. Everybody ain't meant to know everything, but I feel like there's a lack of like general information that we can utilize in our day-to-day lives, and a lot of times you'll find resources in other places and it's not like culturally specific, and I wanted to shift that. I wanted to change that. I didn't like that. I was like, where's Zora? And that's not to say we don't have, authors and writers and bloggers. It's not enough of us. How about that? It's not enough of us. So I wanted to be amongst those people, especially with where I'm from. Like, Alabama, a lot of people just kind of bridge Alabama to the side. and I don't be liking it. Not to say I don't love my other places, because I love Georgia. Like, every time I see posts about Atlanta culture and just, it's like living in Wakanda. Like, I love it here. I love it here. You know, I'm very proud of where I'm from, but I love Georgia. I've always liked Georgia. And, you know, my great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother, they lived in Georgia. So we got history. We got roots in Georgia. But, yeah, I love Georgia. But I feel like Alabama also just didn't have enough representation. And I was also trying to tap into that as well. So, yeah, I love it. I love it here. But yeah, y'all, let's talk about these little dream now that I'm done ranting about that as I shuffle. First of all, let me open these roads. Thank you, Spirit, for opening the roads for me on behalf of the tribe. Thank you so much for covering and protecting me as I go on this journey. Thank you so much for the gift. You know I don't abuse the gift. I honor it. I appreciate it. I love it. I respect it. Thank you so much. What guidance, T, do you have for us today, Spirit? What guidance and tea do you have for us today? So as I shuffle the cards, also, I had a dream, and in this dream, right, which I'm gonna go into specific details all the way through, but just to overshadow, like, I had this dream where I was in a space with a certain orange man. And this orange man was kind of like hitting a bong or whatever, right? So this orange man is hitting this bong, and I'm like sitting next to him. And at first it's just me and the orange man hitting the bong, like we weren't smoking together. And I look at him and I'm like, shit, can I, you know what I'm saying? Damn, you gonna share? And so he was like, shit, I'll leave the bag for you. You know, I'm gonna leave the bag for you. You can roll your own. And he goes and he leaves out the room because he said he got a meeting to do. He got something to go do. So I'm just gonna leave you the bag, whatever. I look up as I'm getting ready, to FaceTime, as I call it, this bleezy fo sheezy. And, I'm like, thank you. And I thank you, okay? And I'm noticing, I look up and I see all these, like, men of color bagging up not only, you know what I'm saying, but also other things. And I'm like, damn, what's going on in this motherfucker? And also, I look up on the stage and I realize that I'm in a meeting. I'm in a meeting space of a particular society. And I'm like, damn, what, we finna have a meeting? Like, what's going on? And as I never get a chance to, like, roll up. I never get a chance to do it because once he leave, I'm so focused on everything else that's going on around me. And I look up and I see, like, one of my baby cousins that I don't even fucking know. I'm not gonna call her name. Like, and I say I don't know her, and to say, like, we don't have any direct communication. Like, I don't believe we ever actually come face to face. Like, we don't know each other like that. But we are related. And I say, hey, and I have a hard time pronouncing her name, but I say, hey, what's up? She's standing up on the stage as I look up and realize we in a particular hall of secret society. And I'm like, okay. And she looks at me and she says, hey, such and such, and calls my full name, like, but it was in this, like, really sarcastic tone, right? And what I got from that is, like, matriarchy wise, among other things, matriarchy wise, like, it is very much time for us to shift what we're doing. It is very much time for us to shift what we're doing in terms of inspiring and getting out information to the youth and girls that are coming up under us. I'm sure there's more that I'll unpack from that dream over the next 24 hours, and maybe I'll talk about it. But what I initially got was, like, yeah, there are systems of patriarchy being set up, and, like, it's a lot. And, I don't know where the cannabis tie comes. Like I said, I I gotta see, because sometimes, like I tell y'all, when you have a dream, like sometimes the download come later. So, but from like off the dome, I'm telling y'all, the matriarchy is time. It off the dome, and it's like the girls are waiting. They like, what's going on? Because it's like the attitude that she had, like, don't be satisfied with being like given something, like, what, you did it, you know what I'm saying? It was just weird energy, like very weird energy. Like, you could tell she was being sarcastic, like, you just took it, you didn't, do anything about it, you didn't like cultivate, you didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you were fine with being handed your how shall I say, you're fine with being handed your creature comfort. And I feel like there's a underlying theme of those societies and those spaces and places that, shall be unnamed at this moment until I can decipher. But yeah, I just felt the need to say that. Like, patriarchy is the greatest destiny swap to ever happen. And this is no shade to my guys or my sisters, misters from another, team. But patriarchy is one of the greatest destiny swaps that has ever played society. And I feel like, I don't know how the hell I ended up in a dope house with Donald Trump. Why was anyone a dope house? Well, it was. But it was almost like feeding us, like the men, like, God, I don't get it, okay. It's like subduing us, you know what I'm saying? Like, on purpose, like subduing our third eye or our intuition, and we were just taking the fucking bait, right? It was weird, because I looked up, I said, damn, I'm in the dope house, I'm in the trap. What's really going on? It was crazy. Like, I'm sure more downloads to come. But it was weird. It was very strange. But the baseline of what I got out of that was, we being fed delusion, we being fed illusions, and we're being subdued under the guise of partnership. And our younger generations are looking at us like, well, you did it. You didn't do any different. Like, it's a certain group of us that's supposed to be making a significant change. And instead of that, we're kind of like in our creature comforts. And I'm going to leave that way it's it. But let's pull these cards. I'm sure there'll be more on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Daughter of Baskets. Ain't that funny? It's a young girl on here. What's the present? Six of Knives in reverse, collective. Nine of Knives in the upright, overall. Near future. 10 of Sticks in the reverse, overall. 5 of Sticks in the reverse. So there's some sort of aggressive energy within a group of people, and maybe there's a loyalty that caused you to stay in a state of mind. Like, maybe you were, moving with a sense of loyalty, a sense of emotional clarity, and it caused you to stay stuck in this thought process. So this might be tied to my dream too. And over the past 9 weeks, over the next 9 weeks, you'll be forced to kind of let go of that way of thinking, because I got the 9 of Knives in the upright. In the near future, you'll be realizing that these actions have caused a significant burden, repeated burdens, and you've been holding on to the responsibility of a small group of people that shouldn't have any reflection on the way that you move. Now, the Daughter of Baskets, you've been so loyal. 8 of Coins in reverse. Oh, that's what it is. 8 of Coins in the reverse. You've been so loyal that you haven't even taken the time to achieve your own goals and your own, significant building. 6 of Sticks in reverse. And maybe this has resorted into some sort of fit of change, or maybe this is why society in itself has failed in a way. Like, our, not saying obviously women have been quite successful. We have built ourselves up. We've gone to school, but there's still work that needs to be done to separate. We're carrying burdens that don't belong to us. And it's caused a major failure. between what we want and what we have. Nine of baskets in the upright. So your desires, you may have feel like a failure because like you didn't accomplish these goals while you were being loyal, right? Tell me about the Six of Knives in reverse. Now we got the Father of Sticks in reverse. So we've been kept in this cycle because of, yeah, they finna start talking. We've been kept into this cycle because of some sort of like masculine control, this sense of control, and possibly even abuse. Fire signs here, they abused the fact that Six of Coins in reverse, that we abuse of power, abuse of being able to hand us something. If you were to see this Six of Coins in reverse, you would see it's like a hand and it's like a gambling table. What's the Six of Coins in reverse? Yeah, they could have tried to control you. Maybe didn't want you to gamble. Maybe you thought you were in some sort of misfortune. Confirmation. So you would be, you should be so fortunate to have this, like they said, the idea of what we hold to a high regard is women as a matriarchy is changing. And, the stagnation is ending. 4 months is significant here. There's a shift here because what you're realizing that you're being offered has caused misfortune. Like, it's not really helping. This is about control. This is about, false leadership and keeping you stuck in a particular state of mind. Like, this is a cycle, a six cycle, secular. I didn't want to say that. So letting go of this way of thinking and having fear, Son of Sticks in reverse, of being seen as different or independent. Spirit is letting you know that, you're being protected, or you need to protect yourself with the Nine of Sticks as these secrets and these energies are being unveiled. Pa card with the moon being exposed here, Cancer. There's some sort of knowledge being exposed. Mother of Knives in the upright. They could have been trying to make it seem like they want to protect you, but this stopped you from being independent. This stopped you from taking action, when ideally, if you had been exposed that you were studying some sort of knowledge or had some sort of, Aquarius energy, people would begin to believe you. People would change their perspective. Aquarius, change their perspective, and they did not want this to happen. So, and also changing the perspective of aligning with unequal partnerships. Two of Sticks in reverse, 1001 on the timestamp. It's like people, if it was unveiled that the feminine held the knowledge, it would shift the perspective of thinking that you had to have some sort of partner to progress. So there's been a decision, or there's decisions that's being made, Three of Sticks, by this Father of Knives in reverse to manipulate a situation, because he's an Emperor in reverse. Aries could be significant. Like, he's manipulating you into thinking that they're not fighting you. This isn't your battle. And Spirit's calling for a rebirth, that there could have been some sort of ending here. I'm gonna tell you what I just heard, Scorpio. Like I said, everything ain't meant to be said. But it has to shift. It has to shift. I've been listening at this girl. She come across my timeline, and she like tells the Bible stories, but she tell the Bible stories like in modern terms, and like it changed the way like you see it. Like, she tell that shit raw. You know what I'm saying? And the way she be telling them stories, you be like, what the fuck? Like how we be talking about a lot, and with how he really did his wife, his daughters, and like how, like today she did a post, and it was about Abraham and how he was a scammer. She called him Abraham, man. But it is, she post references to let you know what time it is. Like, the patriarchy is going down bad. Going out sad, baby. Y'all going out sad because y'all refuse to release control. They refuse to release control. Like, you had your time. Time is up. You fucked it up enough. And anything heavily male-centered is going out. He's going out sad. 10 of sticks in reverse. Yeah, there's been an unnecessary burden here to a mother of sticks, a fire sign feminine, out of fear that 9 of coins in the upright, that you would be taken care of. You would be able to exist in comfort without that. You know what I'm saying? I want you, but I don't need you type energy. You feel me? They don't like that shit. 5 of sticks in reverse. And now you have clarity with the 7 of baskets on who the real enemy is. A friend of mine, he was a friend of mine. So yeah, there's some information that's coming out, and you are sensing that you're sensing that there's a message that's being seen or being put out by this energy that, you know, you see that these people are worried. You also see their intent is to keep you unstable, stop you from receiving assistance. That's what's going on, in order to appear as some sort of higher authority or the authority on the issue. Like, oh, we doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all done seen those articles here lately about, like, men talking about women losing SNAP benefits and, oh, you're not gonna be able to take care of your children. And they talked about the price of the cocoon. My daughter hate when I make up words. But they talk about the price of coochie, you know what I'm saying, going down $40. You feel me? And like, it's come off in this way of like, okay, so now that women are not getting government assistance or help, they're gonna have to go back to men and taking certain bullshit and not, you know what I'm saying, sell a little bit to get a little bit, but it gonna have to go at an extreme discount. And they're just exposing themselves for the predators and the creeps that they are. Because first things first, if you ever study economics, which I did in college, you know it's certain industries that they don't experience a downturn when things go bad. And if you're wondering what those industries are, it's the spicy sex industry. It is liquor. The trap house don't go bad. You know, certain industries don't see a downturn. The clubs don't go bad. And it, so when people speak that way, it's almost as if to train the mind of the feminine energy, like, you gonna have to accept this. You got to go back to your abusive husband or your abusive baby daddy, because you ain't gonna be able to take care of yourself. You ain't gonna have no resources. You ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying, like, type crazy shit. Like, they saying this shit online. It's weird. When I tell y'all, and I probably ranted about this before, I have deleted so many men. I have deleted so many men behind, like, certain shit that they've been saying, because, bitch, you a predator. The fuck? You are a creep and you are a predator at the end of the day. You know, stripping games has been, you know what I'm saying, y'all don't know about that. Players Club, the late, great Bernie Mac. Baby, the stripping game been a long time ago. Okay, baby, you just cause, and black folk been surviving. We been thriving. That's what the Renaissance was about during the Great Depression. That part as well. We gonna make a way out of no way at the end of the day. You know, the best things are created during times of strife, during times of challenge. You get real creative with your meals. You get real creative with your life, with, you know, innovation. You get creative when you got to, man. You get smart, you get creative, you get resilient, but you don't get fucking desperate. And it's sad that that's what they think is finna happen. It's very sad. But I'm telling you, it's clearing my friend list up on Facebook, but I'm getting that. Get the hell on with that. Get on like you been spit on, okay? Get from around here. Can't sit here. Not with that bullshit. I don't even find the need to argue no more, y'all. I just be like, oh, delete it. And I ain't blocking their asses either. I'm just deleting their ass. Like, no. You're weird. Let's see what the guides are saying. So there's past energy of the Three of Pentacles in reverse. These people don't want to work with you because they intend for you to lose this fight. Five of Swords in reverse. They intend for you to lose this fight. This is what they've been manifesting. Gemini energy here. They're orange, mine. You know, this person intends for you to lose this fight. That's why they don't. This is on purpose. You know, clearly he's got an agenda. They've got an agenda. The patriarchy has an agenda. So this is intentional. This is manifested. This is what they want, okay? And so as you begin to heal from the trauma, like, okay, so we've been healing from the trauma from past timelines, Three of Swords in the reverse. And we are escaping poverty, Five of Pentacles in reverse. We're escaping, as we heal from the trauma, we've been escaping poverty, we've been saving ourselves. And it's like, oh, hold up. You get too independent now. You're knowing too much. You can read, you can write, you can vote, you can, you can go do some things, and I can't make you. And you know what? A thing that I discovered, which I think was very sick, is like, you would rather go back into oppression, racism, abuse with women, period, just so you could be in control. No matter what kind of control, just you want to be in control. And I think that's where they are, patriarchy wise. So presently there's been some sort of leap of faith that's being taken here to stop something from ending. Death in reverse, Scorpio. Stop something from changing, transforming. Because again, somebody doesn't want the burden, 10 wands, of this injustice. Libra could be significant. They don't want the burden of this injustice. So in order to end the stagnation with this Four of Cups, this masculine energy has some sort of plan to stop someone from getting power. Ace of Wands. Someone's trying to 10-10. Someone's Capricorn too, y'all. Someone doesn't want the power of change, power of transforming. Somebody don't have the power to transform something. So now they're worried. They don't have the power to change your mind or change the way things are being exposed. So they're worried about a secret. Yeah, the moon, about this being exposed, a secret coming out, their true feelings. Or they mean to sacrifice you or continue to hold you up, place you in surrender, Pisces, collectively. New starts are coming. 4, 5, 6 of Cups. Yeah. So there's offers here. There's apologies, Page of Cups. Because there's regret, 5 of Cups. For making these ill decisions, Libra. Or you may be feeling like you should make peace here and take these apologies, take these offers, but Spirit is saying you'll regret this. This is a bad decision. There's a build-up, 8 of Pentacles. This is the precursor to a tower. Somebody's working to cause a tower. And they're lying. Ace of Swords in reverse. They're lying. They want to change the information, change the trajectory. This Emperor in reverse energy. Aries here. Yeah, somebody's lying off. Their wish fulfillment, 9 of Cups, is to progress quickly. They want this to progress. Somebody wishes to speed up a loss here. Yeah, they want to take your knowledge. They don't want to pay you for your knowledge. They don't want to take you, Queen of Swords. Ooh, a mess. Yeah. They want to siphon you. Siphon your knowledge. You know so much. You're connected to your higher source, the High Priestess. Taurus energy, that's your strength, Leo. And they don't want you to see your strength. They don't want you to recognize your strength. The Sun in reverse, Leo again. So you won't begin to build up, work on. They don't want you to see Yeah, they don't want you to work here. They don't want anything to work out. Whatever it is you're building, they trying to take that shit. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. They don't want you to build enough of a substantial base to be able to take care of yourself. Because if you're so heavily in your emotions, Knight of Cups in reverse, you know, they want you moving emotional. But I don't know, what's this Nine of Swords spirit? What's that? Yeah, somebody's moving out of emotion. Emotionalist. What's that? Oh, okay, I hear you. You got to stay out of your emotions so you escape this trap of whoever this King of Swords in reverse is. We know who that is, because the higher authority here, you know, is playing on the fact of playing with your reality, playing with your Taurus and Sagittarius by giving you some sort of offer or some sort of assistance. So long term, Knight of Pentacles, you know, it's like, oh, okay, I care about families, I care about peace, I care about homes, I care about good things. Because at the end of the day, they know that you're the Empress. The home is better with the Empress, right? Aries. And maybe you won't fight with them if you're like happy, like you're content. I'm telling you, that dream, I'm sure I'm gonna get more downloads with that. Yeah, it's kind of like playing on your top, because I got the, what is this, 3-7 of Wands to the Queen of Wands. Yeah, they don't want you to fight for some sort of leadership, some sort of place. So in order to get you to not take this action, Page of Wands, and stop reaching for some sort of goal, they take away your foundation or opportunities, Ace of Pentacles, so that you don't realize, or they trying to take it out from under your nose. The Star card in reverse, this is a betrayal, Aquarius, near future. So realize when you're being lied to, Page of Swords in reverse. Somebody's lying, or they don't want you to know that you're the prize. Wheel of Fortune in the upright. Yeah, they trying to make it seem like you don't have any opportunities to this. Was this 8 of Cups in reverse? No. Yeah, they don't want you to have any opportunity to build your legacy. 10 of Pentacles. So these actions that they'll be taking in the next 3 days are going to be to delay you, or these recent actions are meant to delay your progress from moving forward. Yup. They don't want you to move on. They want shit to stay exactly the way it is. So these people aren't really going to work with you, because they don't want you to be able to like make better choices, make a firmer foundation. They don't want you to be free. What's the 4 of Wands in reverse? They don't want you to be stable. You know what I'm saying? So when you get these offers, these are meant to help you. 2 of Cups to the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. It's just to keep you ungrounded in your healing, Virgo. And so you'll have to slow down, Cancer, Chariot in reverse. And a lot of us are going to miss this message, 2 of Swords, because we think, or they're holding on, because we are centering it around this theft being exposed. It's like things that they're exposing some theft, and they're pretending to make shit right or balance things out by being emotionally vindictive. King of Cups in reverse. But a King of Wands is controlling this battle by putting out information that will make them seem like a hero for leaving or walking away from the mother, Queen of Cups, who is uncontrollable. They can't control this. This cycle is ending, and now they're moving reckless, Knight of Wands. Yeah, there's a lot of abuse. There's a lot of recklessness in terms of partnerships and lovers. And that is true, because if you've been paying attention, in the news lately, it has been so many articles about baby daddies and children's fathers, however you want to say it, killing their baby mamas, like sneaking them places, telling them to meet up with them places, and they hurting them and killing them. Like, it's been a lot of articles about that lately. So facts. There's a lot of abuse. Spirit says they want your energy because they're weak. They want you too weak to provide, Taurus. So there's a collaboration here. They want to collaborate because maybe they need protection here. So it's really like you are a source. I feel like better together, but then you have these energies just like not wanting to give up their power. It's just an imbalance. Like, I'm not all fee fi fo fum men hater. I love men, but at the end of the day, like, men don't want to give up control. Like, they don't value, and I ain't gonna say it's all men, okay? I had to be very specific. But it's like a ego thing, you know what I'm saying? Even if they making dumbass decisions, they gotta be the one. I had two situations like that. Like, damn, you want to be the leader, but where the hell is you leading me to? Hell? The fuck? You gonna lead me off a damn cliff? Jesus. So anyway, maybe there's an uncovering of some sort of mystery here. Maybe this is to help you uncover the mystery of your confidence. You can defend yourself, and the intentions are to take your power. Intention and power in reverse, Aries. Like, this is all to like skew your thoughts as well, or what you think about yourself. And this is not an act of kindness. Don't be tricked into communicating, into them communicating like peace or whatever. Somebody has a secret. Yeah. Secret rest. There's a secret. Maybe you discover secrets when you rest. So rest was important. Yeah, heal. Secrets are revealed to you in your dreams when you rest. Yeah, there's some sort of loss here. Yeah, experience needs loss, transform. Okay, so it was also a lady speaking about inflammation and dementia. And I have so many tribe talks playing, y'all. I know y'all getting tired of me hearing it, but you know what I'm saying? We in the trenches with the Grinches. So yeah, that part. I get to it. But there's this lady, she's a root worker as well, and she was talking about how, like, when you get dementia, like some forms of dementia caused by inflammation of the brain, stress, and how like we've been like forced to like operate out of survival mode for so fucking long, and in the long term it's damaged our brains. The matriarchy is all fucked up by patriarchy and abuse and bad health, and it just fucks it up on a long-term type of thing. And yeah, so these betrayals that we are experiencing, and she talked about it, like, save yourself. I reposted it on my Facebook if you follow me on Facebook. Anyway, so yeah, they're betraying you because secretly, like, they know we need to rest in order to heal, and they lose when things transform. And it's like keeping you in this state of survival is like fucking with us health wise, so the fact that they can't take our joy, means they're not necessarily following their instincts. Spirit says don't forget, they don't follow their instincts. They don't. It's all about just being the boss. So they're not inspired to believe what women say. It's a very small group of men that actually listen to women, right? And if you go back in history, there were a lot of women rulers. There were a lot of women pharaohs. And you do have to wonder at some point, where did all the women go? Like, when did it become only men? Like, and I truly believe a lot of us were sold off. Like, a lot of times when, especially in Egyptian culture, like a lot of the pharaohs, they sold off to the men from, like, okay, let me back the line up. So a lot of times when a family would come along, they would have the brother and the sister as the rulers. And a lot of times there were like betrayals. People would like kill them off, shit like that, because, you know, they wanted total power. And that's happened in other cultures too as well. But over the years, it's almost erased like women rulership, right? And I feel like, where are all the goddesses? Where did all the female empresses go? Where did all the women pharaohs go? You know what I'm saying? And if you start paying attention to that shit, you're like, well, damn, I know men ain't ruled alone forever, so what the hell going on? I'm telling you. So, yeah, something is being minimized. Like, yeah, they don't want you to grow in reverse to the freedom card. They don't want you to grow, because then you'll be looking for some sort of freedom. I'm telling you, women are waking up and realizing, well, some women, because it's a lot of male-centered women out there still, heavily and deeply into the patriarchy. And I truly believe you need a little bit of both. And, you know, if you grow too much, you'll know that you're free, you know. So there's a blessing here with the information that's being revealed. And people are, you know, working. Somebody's working so that you don't take a deal to work. So you don't have to deal with these relationships. It's revealing that women are working so they don't have to deal with these relationships. They want balance in their lives so they don't have to be afraid of being hunted. I know that's right. And consumed. I know that's right. And destroyed. I know that's right. Feeling like you can't trust these people. Trust this masculine energy, because they don't have patience and they lack the courage. There's some sort of ignorance here when it comes to taking care or showing some form of care. Okay, I'm almost at the 60-minute mark, y'all, so I'm going to leave that way. I'm going to keep my team brief. If this message resonates, don't forget to follow, like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that we will continue to uncover. You know what I'm saying? Aquarius, very significant. And, you know, tell a friend, because you never know who this will help. Also, if you need a private booking, go ahead and click the link in my bio. I do have available appointments for readings as well as spell work. And yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for believing in my message and my journey and joining the tribe. I appreciate y'all for new followers as well as the OGs. Thank y'all so much. And yeah, we gonna make this team, we gonna make some shape per usual, as we always do. But first, it's definitely time for some deconstruction and some opening our eyes about a lot that's going on around us. Not me in my ISIS mode. Period. Clock that T. Anyway, y'all, love you, mean it. You know, we're gonna chat soon. Bye.